Jacob Phillips, he says, who are some program guys we should know about for the upcoming season? Well, one, talk about the verbiage that he used here. Program guys, not breakout players, program guys. That's crucial. But for some of y'all that may know them as breakout players, we'll talk about it that way. A couple of breakout guys that I want us to get to here. Jordan James from Oregon, running back. The running back, y'all. He averaged 7 yards a carry in 2023, and y'all, he didn't even get the bulk of the carries. Bucky Irving was the bell cow for them last season. Expect Jordan James to have a ton of production next year. That was a big part of Oregon's offense last season, was being able to set the tempo running the football. They only ran the football right around 45% of the time, but I still think Jordan James will be a big factor in that offense next year, especially with Bucky Irving leaving. Also, think about it this way. You're breaking in a new quarterback in Dylan Gabriel. So whatever he is doing from a learning curve standpoint, if he needs some time to get up to speed in certain situations, I think Jordan James will be your guy for you. He is a stud, someone to watch next year without question, and also undoubtedly a program guy. So keep an eye on Jordan James. He's set for a big year in 2024. Another guy that's going to be, I think, a big factor next season for Georgia is safety Jake Pope. Now, Jake Pope previously was at Alabama, committed out of high school to Alabama, was a 4-star cat, and he came to Georgia once T-Rob got to Athens as one of the co-DCs. So all that's to say, his coach at Alabama, who worked with him at Alabama, who knows Jake Pope very well from a skill set standpoint, from what he brings to the table standpoint, from a person standpoint, he knows Jake Pope. And T-Rob goes to Georgia, understands the level that's expected at Georgia, and says, we need Jake Pope. So Jake Pope, via the transfer portal, comes to Georgia, and just because you didn't get on the field at Alabama as a starting safety does not mean you can't play ball. The fact that Georgia took Jake Pope should tell you everything about him. He's going to play opposite Malachi Starks. I think he's going to be an instant impact guy for the Dogs and add to that defense in a big way. So Jake Pope, without question, someone to know, someone to keep an eye on. I think he's going to factor into that defense and fit in quite nicely for the Dogs. Another guy to keep an eye on here, how about Micah Hudson? True freshman Micah Hudson, 5-star plus Micah Hudson from Texas Tech. I understand he's a true freshman. This isn't an instant impact true freshman segment, but it has to be noted. He will step on campus in Lubbock and be one of, if not the best offensive weapon for Zach Kitley and company. Now, you know this. We have a program crush on Texas Tech and Joey McGuire and what they've done there. Let's not make it weird. I think Micah Hudson, with what he has from a skill set perspective, he's just a playmaker. Like when he was in high school, he was the epitome of productive, has good track speed. He's going to be a guy that I think is similar to what Florida had in Eugene Wilson as a true freshman last year, in the sense that you're just going to get him the ball and let him eat. Whether it's bubble screens, whether it's getting the ball downfield, whether it's speed sweeps, however you want to do it, you can get Micah Hudson the ball and let him be dynamic for you. He's going to be a playmaker for them as soon as he steps foot on campus. He is that good. Committed to Texas Tech over some other big-time schools. They were very happy to land him, and I think there's no way you keep him off the field as a true freshman. He is going to be a baller, day one in Lubbock. Another baller that was a day one baller at Kansas State was quarterback Avery Johnson. He is the future of Kansas State football. He will be your starting quarterback next year. The comp for us here at On 3 for him out of high school was Pat White. Should tell you just how dynamic of an athlete he is. He was a 4-star cat out of high school in class 2023. The Big 12 conference, to me, feels like it's very wide open. Now, I understand Utah with Cam Rising coming back, and we'll see what Colorado is. Like Kansas State, I believe, is in very good position to make some real moves. Arizona also joining the conference. It feels like a quarterback can make the difference, and how talented Avery Johnson is could be that difference maker. Accounted for 12 touchdowns as a true freshman. He has a chance, I think, to really elevate with them having a full offseason to build the offense around him as the guy, because I think what he brings to the table as an athlete, at least, is a little bit more dynamic than what Will Howard brought to the table. Now, I'm not saying he's a better player than Will Howard, but I do think you have a chance now to put more strain on a defense with what he does running the football than what Will Howard brought to the table. And this is something that a lot of people have said, but I'm just going to echo this sentiment. Avery Johnson is there because Kansas State chose him over Will Howard. Will Howard could have come back to Kansas State for another year. So that should tell you just how talented he is and how highly they think of him in Manhattan. And like I said, he is without a doubt the future for the Wildcats going forward. So Jordan James, Jake Pope, Micah Hudson, Avery Johnson, not all encompassing. We'll probably do a few more segments like this on some top guys. Keep an eye on in the college football world. But all 4 of those cats I expect to be instant impact program guys that maybe not a lot of national folks are talking about right now, but ones that you'll know about when the season rolls around because of y'all being dialed in year-round to this show. Hey, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.